Prince's Guide to Death by Grace Heine. Act 1, Scene 1, Henry's house. In center stage, an armchair and a couch sit on either side of a small coffee table. Behind them, the floor is covered with cardboard boxes labeled various things like books, etc., and fragile old books. Henry is anxiously pacing behind the couch and armchair. Maggie knocks on the door. Henry crosses to the door and opens it.
Maggie, come in.
Maggie enters and hugs Henry.
Henry, it has been too long.
I know it has. It's so nice to see you. How was your drive?
Long, but nice. I'm sorry I'm late.
You're all right. You're right on time.
Maggie looks around the room.
Is anyone else coming tonight?
Yes, her name is Quinn. I don't think you two have met.
When is she from?
2011.
That early? I don't think I've ever met a vampire from this century.
She's quite different. This new breed of vampires confuses me. Do you want to sit?
Henry gestures to the couch. Maggie crosses to the couch and sits.
Would you like anything to drink? I could get you something. Water?
No, thank you.
All right.
Henry sits in the armchair.
So, how have you been?
Fine. Just fine. So, how about you? How have you been?
I've been fine.
That's good.
They sit in awkward silence for a moment.
We're turning into humans. How have you really been? I mean, the last time I saw you was what, 20 years ago at Ed Collins' funeral?
25. It's been a while. But really, I've been doing all right. I did have to move again about 5 years ago. I'd been living in South Carolina since, well, I guess I moved in right around the time that Ed was killed. It was time to leave. You know, you can only use plastic surgery as an excuse for so long. But when I was looking for a new place, I found a group of vampires living out in Washington State, so I moved out by them. They're very nice. But really, Henry, I've been all right. I've just been keeping busy, avoiding my neighbors, and working on that scarf I started in the 80s.
You've been working on the same scarf for 40 years?
No, not those 80s.
Which?
That doesn't matter. It just makes me feel old. What have you been up to these past 25 years?
I've been churning out Professor Tobias Drake murder mysteries.
Well, I know that. Other than that.
Playing solitaire? Yeah, I don't know. I don't do much, Maggie.
Are they still selling well?
What?
Your books. Are they selling well? The bookstore near me still carries them, but I'm afraid they only stock them for me and my book club.
Oh yes, they're still selling well.
That's good.
My publisher is happy. The writing talent has passed down to another generation.
How many Henry Gores have there been now? 3?
4. My publisher thinks he's communicating with Henry Gore IV right now.
Does he suspect anything?
No, the only thing he and the publishing house suspect is nepotism, which they're fine with since it makes them money.
How much longer do you think you'll be able to turn out Professor Drake novels?
I don't know. There are only so many murder mystery plots and characters out there. This might be the last generation of Henry Gores. But then, I don't know what else I'd do for a living.
Quinn knocks on the door.
That must be Quinn.
Henry opens the door.
Come in.
Quinn enters wearing earbuds and singing.
Call me up, we'll talk about gerbils all night long. I just wanna...
Quinn.
Ooh.
Quinn.
Henry takes one of the earbuds out of Quinn's ear.
What?
Turn that off.
What, do you want the Gregorian chants? I have those too. I know they were all the rage when you were a kid.
No. You're not doing that here.
Doing what? The Gregorian chants?
The British accent.
Oh, come on. No one will take me seriously otherwise.
You're from Wisconsin, Quinn.
Exactly. Who in their right mind is going to take a vampire from Wisconsin seriously? Oh, sorry. I drained you of all your blood. I was hungry.
Vampires don't drink blood. That's a myth. As long as we get enough iron in our diet, we're fine.
Oh my gosh, it was a joke. I know I don't have to bite humans to survive. You're preaching to the Immortal choir, dude.
What happened to your accent?
Quinn sticks her tongue out at Henry.
I hate you.
Why are you late? There can't be much traffic this time of night.
Trust me, I have a really good excuse. Just give me a few minutes to think of it.
Quinn crosses to Maggie.
Hey, I'm Quinn.
I'm Maggie. It's nice to meet you. Henry tells me you've been a vampire since 2011.
Yeah, Twilight was like super popular. My parents thought I was going through like a vampire phase.
Oh.
So, who else is coming?
No one. Everyone's here.
You only have 2 friends? That is sad, dude.
Okay.
So, why are we here?
Are you serious?
He's missing something.
Really?
Quinn, you know this. You read my email. You're here.
No, I skimmed your email. Your emails are way too long.
I'm not even surprised.
Oh no, I'm becoming predictable in my old age.
You're not old.
Quinn sits next to Maggie.
True. But this guy, dude, you use email. You're ancient. Hey, also, I've been meaning to ask you, where did you stay on Noah's Ark?
I'm from the Middle Ages, not the beginning of time.
You don't look that young. When are you from?
1713,
Where?
Massachusetts.
Dude, you would have been so useful to know during high school. Wait, how'd you get bit?
My fiance at the time was a vampire. He wanted to take the death till we part out of our relationship. We had a very messy breakup in the 40s.
Can we get back to my problem?
You broke up with him after 30 years? That's insane.
Oh, not those 40s. Yes, Henry.
Wait, which 40s?
Quinn, can you focus?
No.
Quinn, please. Let Henry talk.
Sorry.
You're listening to her? All right, fine. I asked you both to come here because I need your help getting something back.
Something?
A book. I was cleaning out my house. I have been living in this neighborhood for too long, and I need to move before they start to suspect.
Can you speed this up? I don't have all night.
You are aware that you're immortal.
Yeah, well, I was just getting bored.
Henry, please continue.
While I was cleaning, I was also babysitting my neighbor's cat because they were gone for the week, out of town for the weekend.
Wait, you actually talk to your neighbors? Get out the pitchforks and torches. He's a monster.
I'm ignoring her. So, what I think happened is that when I was going through my books, the cat knocked the book I didn't want to get rid of into the box of things I was getting rid of. And then I donated that box to a thrift store without looking in the box again.
Maggie and Quinn stare blankly at Henry for a moment.
This is extremely far-fetched. You can just say you had donator's remorse.
When I noticed the box was gone, which was weeks after I donated the boxes, I searched through my whole house. I didn't find it, so I thought that it might have somehow ended up in the thrift store boxes, so I went to the thrift store and looked everywhere, but it wasn't there.
Okay, so I don't mean to be rude,
Why do I have a feeling you're going to be rude now?
but you lost a book.
Yes.
I know they weren't a thing when you were around as a kid, but have you ever heard of a library?
This isn't a book I can just go and get from a library. It's special. It's one of a kind.
Well, what book is it?
It's not a book, really. It's my diary.
Quinn, shut up.
For once, I didn't say anything.
How long have you had this diary?
Since before I was a vampire. It has my whole life in it. I need to get it back.
Wait, why did it take you weeks to notice your diary was missing? It's a diary. Weren't you like, I don't know, writing in it daily or something?
I had writer's block.
On a diary?
I don't know. The last 150 years were kind of depressing for me. And now I feel like if I start to write, I have to fill in what happened during that time, and I just don't know how to even...
Actually makes sense.
So, do you know where your diary is? I'm assuming you wouldn't have called us here if you didn't.
They were advertising it on television. The authenticated diary of the 14th century knight Sir Henry Gormleth is the newest exhibit at the Museum of Postmodern and Medieval Art in Chicago.
Whoa, wait. You're a knight? Like a real sword dueling, village pillaging, maiden saving knight?
Well, yes, but
Why am I just finding this out now? That is so cool. Did you fight with King Arthur?
King Arthur isn't... No. Just no.
Well, that's lame. Okay. So anyway, you want us to break into the museum and steal your diary back? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yes. No. Sort of.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
How are we supposed to help you break into a museum?
Well, you both have expertise that could be useful.
I have no experience breaking into art museums, Henry.
But you told me how you helped smuggle slaves up north during the Civil War. That might help us some.
It really won't.
What about me? What's my expertise?
Well, you. I'd be surprised if you hadn't broken into something already.
First of all, how dare you? Second of all, of course I have.
Henry, I know you want your diary back, but what if we get caught? Have you thought about that? If we're caught, we're sure to be exposed to sunlight.
No, you don't understand. I'm not asking either of you two to come with me. I just need your help figuring out how to get into and out of the museum.
You can't go alone.
I'm not taking anyone with me. You are completely right. If we get caught, we will be exposed to sunlight, and I'm not risking that for anyone but me.
You are not going alone.
Yes, I am. This is my mistake. I have to be the one to fix it. It won't be right for anyone but me to risk exposure to the sun.
I am not going to lose you for the sake of a diary. I am coming with you.
Henry grabs Maggie's hand.
This isn't a suicide mission. There's just a chance that I could get caught. That's it, a chance. I'm going to come back. I promise.
A diary is not worth your life.
But all of my life is in that diary. There is no part of my soul that I haven't turned over and bled out onto those pages. All of my secrets, all of my dreams, all of my feelings are in that book. I need to get it back.
Henry.
I'll be okay.
Henry and Maggie gaze into each other's eyes for far too long.
Are you two in love? Gross. I'm hungry. You got any food?
Oh, yeah, I made garlic bread and steak.
You're not funny. Seriously, is there food anywhere in this house, or did your cat accidentally donate all that to the thrift store too?
Quinn.
I didn't make a meal, but there are plenty of snacks in the kitchen. Knock yourself out.
Thank you.
Quinn exits into the kitchen.
I'm coming with you.
Maggie, I don't want to argue about this.
I don't want to either.
Yo, Henry, why do you have kale chips? You're immortal. You don't need to worry about your health.
I like them. Don't judge me.
It is far too late for that. Oh, what does this do?
The whirring of a blender is heard.
Don't touch that!
So, how did you two meet?
A midnight showing of Twilight. She had been turned into a vampire a year before.
You know, these kale chips taste like they were made before you became a vampire. Which was like, what, 700 BC? Or whenever they were building the pyramids?
I made them last week.
Quinn enters holding the bag of kale chips.
You made these? You need cooking lessons.
Quinn exits back into the kitchen.
I think the best way to avoid being detected would be for us to go into the museum while it's still open and hide somewhere inside until they're closed. I think we could all fit in a closet or something.
You're not coming with me.
Quinn enters without the kale chips.
Look, I'm with Mary on this one.
Maggie.
You going alone is a worse idea than those kale chips.
Look, I just need
Do
your
you get the
help.
kale chips?
No, will you let me finish?
The kale chips, definitely.
We're coming with you.
No, you are not.
Wait, I actually like this idea. So we're gonna go into the museum, hide somewhere, and once the museum is closed, we sneak over to your diary and take it. And I know what you're thinking.
I seriously doubt that.
Quinn, what if we come across a guard? And that's exactly what you sound like, by the way. Well, if we do come across a guard, I'll bite them, turn them into a vampire, and then we can escape into the nights like bats. Except we can't turn into bats because apparently that's a myth. Anyway, boom. Perfect plan. Once again, Quinn to the rescue. You are welcome.
Quinn, no.
Quinn, yes.
We're not turning anyone into a vampire.
You are so boring. This is why I don't read your emails.
Turning someone into a vampire doesn't stop them from attacking you, it just makes them a vampire.
But I haven't bitten anyone yet, and that's like a vampire rite of passage.
Quinn runs her tongue over her teeth.
By the way, when do I get my fangs?
You don't. Fangs are a myth.
What? I never get fangs? I can't turn into a bat, and I can't do mirror mazes anymore? Remind me what the perks of being a vampire are again?
Immortality?
Oh. Yeah, that is nice.
Will both of you stop? Neither of you are coming with me.
All right. Then I won't help you.
Maggie stands up.
What are you doing?
Leaving. Why should I stay? Since I can't do anything to help.
A lover's quarrel.
Shut up!
This is fun.
Henry
You-
stands.
You really want to come with me?
Yes!
All right. Against my better judgment, all right. You can come with me.
We're breaking into a museum. We're breaking into a museum.
Win, don't. Please, just don't.
Quinn sticks her tongue out at Henry.
Thank you.
How do we do this?
Henry sits in the armchair. Maggie and Quinn sit on the couch.
I say we leave now and drive down to Chicago while it's still dark. It will only take a few hours. Once we're there, we can get a hotel to stay inside during the day.
Okay.
Then, close to closing, what time does the museum close?
I don't know.
Quinn pulls out her phone and begins typing.
On it.
Thank you. We'll go close to closing and hide in a back room or closet or something like that. We can figure that out when we get there.
Hold up. How are we going to get into the museum? We have to be invited into a place.
We'll find someone to ask if we can come in. We can say we weren't sure if they were still open and we wanted to make sure we could come in.
But are you sure that will work? It doesn't seem like a foolproof plan.
It will work. I do it all the time when I go shopping.
Why do you need to do it when you go shopping? Walmart has greeters.
I got tired of shopping at Walmart.
But Walmart has everything.
All right, can we get back to the museum?
Sorry, Henry.
Sorry.
All right, so once the museum is closed,
Oh yeah, it closes at 8.
good. So once the museum closes at 8, we do what?
We'll stay in our hiding spot for an hour or so, then come out, find the diary, steal back the diary, and escape out into the night. Like bats.
I like you.
But how are we going to avoid being arrested? Even if we don't get caught actively stealing the diary, they're sure to see us on the security cameras.
No, they won't.
What do you mean?
Wait, you don't know this? Aha, Professor Quinn to the rescue. We are vampires.
I did actually know that.
Okay, shut up. Listen. We are vampires, and vampires don't show up in photos or videos. When you look at the photo or watch it back, it's like we weren't even there. Drove my mother crazy. She thought I was doing something to her computer.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my mom was so mad.
No, not that. About not showing up in the photos.
Yeah? How do you guys not know this? You've been vampires since before wheels were invented.
No one goes around trying to take photos of us.
Are you sure we don't show up on the security cameras?
Positive. It's happened to me before.
Henry looks curiously at Quinn.
I didn't steal anything. I worked overnight shifts at a grocery store. My boss fired me for never showing up for work. I was there. He just couldn't see me on the security cameras.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was a shame.
There's a punchline coming.
My boss really didn't see what a hard worker I was. But
Neither Henry nor Maggie laugh.
get it? Get it? He didn't see me because I was invisible. That's the joke.
Do we have to take her along?
She knows too much.
You know I can hear you, right?
Henry stands.
All right, let's do this. I'll go grab some snacks. You guys get ready to go.
I'll pull my car up.
Maggie stands and heads for the front door.
Here.
She throws the keys to Maggie.
Let's take my car instead. It has a bunch of legroom and I just filled it up on the way here.
I can't argue with that.
Maggie exits and Quinn follows Henry.
And what are you doing?
Making sure you don't pack those kale chips.
Henry and Quinn exit into the kitchen. Scene 2. The Museum Gallery. The museum gallery is full of random postmodern art. A shovel, a wicker chair, a rope, and a fully blank white canvas, each with a small plaque or card describing what it is. The diary is in a glass box on stage left. Near the front of the stage is a plaque describing a window that is unseen and located behind the audience. Quinn enters, doing really bad somersaults and spy poses. Henry and Maggie enter after her, walking.
Quinn, cut that out! You're going to get us caught!
We call ourselves Vampires 11.
I'm going to kill you.
Nice try. I'm immortal.
I can fix that.
Both of you behave.
Sorry.
Look around and see if you can find the diary.
Henry and Maggie start looking around. Quinn groans and lays on the floor.
This is like the 47th room we've looked through. I'm starting to think that your precious diary isn't here. Maybe they realized it was a stupid display and put it in storage.
Quinn looks towards the audience and sees the window. Quinn points above the audience.
Yo, dudes, look at that window. It's huge. It's like the whole wall.
I bet it's a nice view during the day.
Maggie reads a plaque near the front of the stage.
Window to the Windy City's Soul by Delisha Payne, 2017.
Modern art.
Henry finds the diary.
I found it. Come here, I found my diary.
Quinn stands up.
Really?
You're kidding. They actually displayed it?
Maggie and Quinn run over to Henry.
I knew we'd find it.
Quinn looks at the diary.
You have terrible handwriting.
Go away.
Henry pushes Quinn away from the diary. Quinn smirks, rolls her eyes, and walks toward the wicker chair.
How are we going to get it out of the case?
Well, I always say...
Quinn starts to sit on the wicker chair, but Henry and Maggie yell at the same time.
No!
Don't sit!
Quinn jumps up.
Okay.
Sorry, Quinn, but we don't know what kind of security this stuff has. I don't want to set anything off.
Quinn shrugs.
Okay.
We also don't want to ruin any of the art. Especially not
She reads the plaque under the wicker chair.
My Relationship with My Mother by Victor Youngblood, 1998. Medium wicker chair.
You know, I used to think that wicker furniture was a part of a satanic cult. Then I found out that was being Wiccan. Am I dumb?
Yes. Maggie, can you...
Guard's flashlight shines into the room.
Hide!
Henry, Maggie, and Quinn run off the stage and hide in the audience, while leaving Quinn knocks over the sign for the window. The guard enters and shines his flashlight around the stage. Guard sees the fallen sign and realizes someone has been there, but doesn't let on that he knows. Guard exits. Henry, Maggie, and Quinn come out of hiding and return to the stage.
That was close.
We need to work fast and get my diary before the guard comes back around.
Quinn walks over to the diary.
I say we break the glass, grab the diary, and run.
We don't have anything to break the glass with.
Why didn't we bring heist tools?
What are heist tools?
We could use that shovel.
But what if we break it? Yeah, I don't want to ruin the art.
It's a shovel.
Hey, what page of your diary did they think was the most important?
What? Okay, fine. So we use the shovel. Are we sure there aren't security lasers or something out there?
Quinn leans over the glass and reads the diary.
June 14th, 1862. Today, I met the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Security lasers?
Quinn, cut it out. Maggie, I don't know what museums have.
There are no words in any language that could accurately describe her beauty.
I don't think we need to worry about lasers. Maybe you're thinking of motion sensors?
She is charming and lovely and sincere and honest and fair and good, and her pattern of speech is bewitching and alluring, and her sense of humor is unmatched.
Maybe?
Okay, even I know that was a run-on sentence.
What are you talking about?
All I know is that after only one meeting,
Yeah, how do you know about this stuff?
I have fallen hopelessly and desperately in love
Henry realizes what page Quinn is reading and he hurries over to her.
Hey!
with Maggie Braxton.
Henry pulls Quinn away from the diary.
Henry?
Henry turns to face Maggie. He is still holding on to Quinn, using her as a shield between him and Maggie.
Maggie,
Why didn't you ever tell me?
I just figured we could never make it work. You had just broken up with your fiancé, and with both of us moving so much and so far away from each other, and with how often we have to move, I don't know. I thought it would never work, so I never bothered to say.
I love you too.
Get me out of here!
Henry lets Quinn go. Quinn quickly steps away from Henry and shakes herself like a dog after getting wet.
Oh, love!
Guard enters and shines his flashlight on Henry, Maggie, and Quinn's faces.
Put your hands in the air and step away from the ark.
Henry, Maggie, and Quinn turn to face the guard and raise their hands. Quinn points at the blank white canvas.
You call this art?
I'm going to kill you.
That is the 1971 masterpiece, A Walk in the Snowy Woods by Unwin. And if you touch it, I'll
You'll what?
have to shoot you.
For just touching a painting?
Yes.
Quinn moves her hand closer to the painting.
Don't.
Quinn touches the canvas with the tip of her finger.
Boop!
You're going to be sorry you did that.
Henry, Maggie, and Quinn wait for the guard to pull out his gun, but he doesn't move.
You don't have a gun, do you?
Of course I do.
Henry rushes forward and tackles the guard to the ground. The guard tries to get Henry off of him.
Get off me.
Quinn, grab the rope.
No, do not touch Ex-Girlfriend by Xerxes Walker circa 2003. That's on loan to us from the Louvre.
Give it to me.
Quinn grabs the rope and brings it to Henry. Henry starts to tie the guard to the wicker chair. Maggie picks up the guard's flashlight and turns it off.
Why don't you have a gun?
Budget cuts.
Henry finishes tying the guard to the chair.
How many guards does this museum have?
You know, I don't have to answer your questions.
Hit him with the flashlight.
Maggie raises the flashlight to hit the guard.
Hold up, hold up. I don't get paid enough for this. It's just me. I'm the only god. There is no one else.
You expect us to believe that this huge museum has only one security guard?
Budget cuts.
Henry points to the glass box over his diary.
Does this have any alarms? Lasers on it?
Motion sensors?
Guard doesn't answer quick enough and Maggie raises the flashlight.
No. There are no alarms on the case.
Let me guess. Budget cuts.
Yeah,
All right. How do you open the case?
I don't know. Cleaning the displays isn't part of my job.
Give me the flashlight, please.
Maggie hands Henry the flashlight. The guard thinks Henry is going to hit him with the flashlight.
I told you I don't.
Henry hits the case the diary is in with the flashlight. The case doesn't break.
Oh,
Why didn't it break?
it's bulletproof glass.
Great.
What happened to budget cuts?
We already owned the case. I don't see why you want the diary anyway. It doesn't have much, if any, monetary value.
It's mine. I just want it back.
It's not yours. It belongs to some knight.
Yeah, exactly. He is Knight Henry Goliath.
Gormlith?
That's not possible. That knight lived almost 600 years ago.
Believe it in wheat, my dude, because we are vampires.
Quinn?
Who's going to believe him?
She's got a point.
Vampires. Like the immortal beings who suck blood and turn into bats?
Well,
Yes, exactly.
That's fascinating.
You actually believe us?
The guard absolutely does not believe them, but he is trying to buy time to free himself from the rope and get the heck out of there. The guard starts slowly trying to undo the knots on the rope.
Yeah, why not? I've heard weirder. Just last week, some kid named Jacob said he was a werewolf. So, what does a vampire do?
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I want to know. What do you do as a vampire?
Mostly stay inside and try to stay entertained.
So, you can't go out in the sun?
No, of course not, stupid.
What happens when vampires go out in the sun?
No one knows.
What do you mean?
We only know of vampires who are still with us or have been killed by hunters.
Except for Gregory. He caved and ate garlic bread. Poor guy.
Yes, except for Gregory, every dead vampire that we know of was slain by a hunter. There have been vampires who have disappeared, and it is believed they were exposed to sun.
But no one knows precisely what happened to them?
Exactly. No one knows what happens when a vampire is exposed to sunlight. If all their years come on them at once and they turn to dust, or if the vampire becomes mortal and has to live the rest of their life out as a human.
And it isn't very likely that any vampire is just gonna go volunteer to find out which one's true. Especially when most of them are like 1,000 years old.
Fascinating. How do you make money if you can't go outside?
We all have jobs we can do at home, but some vampires work third shift.
I guess that does make sense. So, how does someone become a vampire? You have to get bit, right?
Yeah?
I thought so. Who turned you into a vampire? You say you're from the Middle Ages. Were you bit by Count Dracula?
No, stupid. Dracula isn't real. He was bit by his tutor.
No, I was bit by Stephen Tudor, the Earl of Somerset.
Wait, what? Why?
He wanted a group of immortal knights, and I thought the job sounded cool.
That is so cool. Dang it, now I want to become an immortal knight.
I'll be sure to get you a sword for Christmas.
Really?
No.
Quinn sticks her tongue out at Henry.
That is really cool. So, how long have the rest of you been vampires?
I became a vampire in 2011. I got bit outside an AMC theater by some girl cosplaying as Bella Swan. She was really nice.
And you?
I've been a vampire since 1713.
And in what year exactly did you become a vampire?
1392, which leads me back to my diary. How are we going to get it out of the case?
How many people have you guys turned into vampires?
500. I've bitten 500 people.
With what fangs?
Don't listen to her. None of us have bitten anyone.
But what about your family? Didn't you turn them into vampires?
Like, you mean, did we turn our relatives into vampires? See what I did there? Family, vampires, vampires,
What?
vampires.
No, not you.
I mean, it had to be depressing to watch everyone around you grow old and die.
Family into vampires.
Vampires.
Stop it.
Why not?
Because I didn't.
You could have made them live forever. Why'd you let them die?
I didn't.
Live forever as vampires.
Stop it.
You chose to become a vampire. Why didn't you want that for them?
You could have all lived on a vampire commune.
Shut up. I did want that for them.
A commune?
No.
What happened?
They wouldn't let me bite them. No matter how much I tried to explain to them what it would mean. Oh, they had 1,000 reasons. My father said eternity wasn't ours to make on earth. My mother said I was being led astray by a demon. My sister said I was possessed by the devil. I told them one bite and they could live forever. We could live forever. But they wouldn't listen. I begged with them, but they sent me away with nothing but their prayers. They told me I couldn't come back until I repented. So I let them die.
Maggie looks out the window.
You are completely insane.
Maggie touches Henry's shoulder and points to the window.
Henry, look at the sky. The sun is going to be out soon.
Already?
Guard finishes freeing himself from the rope. He jumps up and tries to run, but Quinn grabs his arm and bites his hand.
Ow! She bit me!
Maggie runs over to the shovel and grabs it. Guard pulls his hand away from Quinn. He turns to run away, but Maggie hits the guard in the head with the shovel. The guard falls to the ground unconscious. Maggie drops the shovel.
I don't believe you.
What?
You idiot, you made him into a vampire, you stupid.
I'm sorry, I thought I was being helpful. He was trying to run and his arm was right there. What was I supposed to do? Not bite him?
Yes!
Lame.
You made him into a vampire.
Dude, chill.
You're so stupid.
Relax. It's not like he's actually gonna believe us. He's not gonna go out into the sun. He's just not gonna age for the next 30-ish minutes. Woo.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Henry glares at Quinn for a long time.
Be useful for once. Help me drag him out of the way.
Henry and Quinn drag the guard off stage. While they do so, Maggie is studying the case the diary is in. Henry and Quinn re-enter. Henry goes over to the diary's case and stares at his diary.
I don't think we're going to be able to get your diary back, Henry. I'm sorry.
Quinn glances out the window.
Yeah. And if we're going to avoid the sun, we need to leave. Like right now.
I'm going to stay.
And he's lost it.
I'm going to stay and watch the sunrise.
Henry, what's going on?
I can't do this anymore, Maggie. I hate this life. I hate hiding. I hate waiting for those I love to die.
Dude, you can't.
I used to have a family. I had a mother, a father, and a sister. I was banished from our home, and within a year they were all dead from the plague. And just because someone is a vampire doesn't mean they can't die. I have friends who are buried with a stake in their heart.
But we're vampires. We've been given the gift of immortality. You'd be insane to throw it away just because a few people died.
The gift? Immortality is not a gift. Immortality is sitting back and watching loved ones die. Immortality is watching civilizations rise and fall. Immortality is watching men slaughter themselves in battles that will be forgotten in a year. Immortality is nothing more than watching death occur over and over and over again. And no human, no being was made to handle that. You think you know everything, but you haven't been around long enough to know anything. Immortality is not a gift. Immortality is loneliness. And eternity is an awfully long time to be lonely. That's why I've never turned anyone into a vampire. I couldn't bear to make them live a life where they could have to eternally hide from the sun and eternally watch from the shadows while others live their lives. We are cursed with immortality. I'm going to watch the sunrise.
Quinn stares silently at Henry for a moment, and then turns to Maggie and holds out her hand to her.
Maggie, we don't have time for him. If we're going to avoid the sun, we need to go.
Maggie looks from Quinn to Henry. Quinn drops her hand.
Right. You two are in love. Gross. Okay. Well, I guess this is goodbye.
Henry is about to speak, but Quinn runs off stage before Henry can say anything. Henry sits on the floor at center stage.
You could go with her. You don't have to stay if you don't want to.
Maggie sits next to Henry.
I want to.
I don't know what's going to happen to us. We could turn to dust, Maggie.
We've lived a good life.
Have we? Have I?
Henry,
No, really. What have I done with my life except stay inside and be afraid? I've lived 600 years. And what do I have to show for that? An unfinished diary? An expert's knowledge of solitaire? A shelf full of murder mystery books? I've done nothing of importance. I've hidden myself from history, from humans, from the sun.
Maggie takes Henry's hand.
but you didn't hide from me. And you made my midnights just a little bit brighter. Do you want to know what I'm going to do with my life when we leave here?
What are you going to do?
After I marry you, I'm going to open an animal shelter. But I have no self-control, so I will adopt all the animals myself. We'll have dozens of cats roaming the house, and their only job will be to knock our diaries into thrift store boxes.
That sounds nice.
We'll have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. We'll raise them, teaching them everything we know. We'll watch them grow old, and we'll grow old with them. And then, when you're in your late 600s and I'm in my late 300s, we'll die together, holding hands.
Maggie and Henry look down at their hands.
What are you going to do when we leave here?
When?
When?
When we leave here, I'm going to write a book for people like us, Immortals. A book that teaches how to live a life free of fear. How to live life to the fullest. How to live life in the sun.
I'd like to read that.
I'll call it The Immortal's Guide to Death. A handbook on living for the undead.
Don't you think the title is a bit long?
It's for immortals. They have time to read it.
Maggie smiles and is about to say something when she notices light coming into the room from the window.
Look, the sun.
Maggie points out into the audience. Maggie and Henry stand.
I forgot how beautiful it is.
Henry and Maggie watch the sunrise. The colored light from the window slowly comes over them.
Henry, I'm scared.
Maggie turns to Henry and buries her head into his shoulder. The sunlight is moving faster. Henry tilts his head up and closes his eyes. The sunlight is now fully on Henry and Maggie. After a moment, Henry opens his eyes and realizes that they are covered in light.
Maggie? Maggie, look!
Maggie looks up and sees the light covering them. Maggie and Henry look down at their bodies and realize nothing has changed.
We're not dead. Henry, we didn't die. We didn't die!
Maggie hugs Henry. Henry looks at his hands, shocked that they look the same as they always have. He returns Maggie's hug. After a moment, Henry pulls away from Maggie.
Let's get out of here.
What about your diary?
Henry Gormlith is dead. Why shouldn't his diary be in a museum?
Henry grabs Maggie's hand.
Come on, let's go. I haven't been out in the sun for 600 years.
Henry and Maggie exit.